In the murk of twilight's glow, tales of horror gently flow through the annals of the past. Mysteries we seek to cast. In the shadows secrets lie, truth that time cannot deny. Voices echo, stories blend. In the night they never end. True crime tales that chill your spine. Cold cases lost in time. Duo murders dark and grim. Pique your interest, drawing you in. Every mystery left behind. Whispers creeping in your mind. Covering all sorts of crime. Stories twisted but sublime. Digging deep through every sign, true crime passion so divine. Hidden clues begin to speak, shadows dance where killers creep. Unsolved threads we strive to keep, burning questions never sleep. Every mystery left behind, whispers creeping in your mind. Covering all sorts of crime, stories twisted but sublime.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into True Crime Trio. Stace, over to you, love. I'll let you take the floor and tell us who we're doing tonight.
So tonight we are doing Richard Ramirez. I'm sorry, for some reason you were all freezing on me, so I had to come back out and come back in again.
Are we here live now, though? Yeah,
Yeah, you're all smooth.
Cool.
Black and white, but smooth. Right, so let me re-upload the PDF.
Wow. I don't know much about this one, to be quite honest with you, so this is a learning one for me.
There we are.
Ian, in that top picture, though, he don't look half bad looking, Stace.
No, he's quite young in that one, because there's not really many pictures of him young. That's the only one I could really find online.
Big up words.
So,
Hope you're doing well.
Twisted
Can
fella.
be polished sometimes. Can't we, ladies?
It can be sometimes, yeah.
That's how you said it then, not a bit posh. Big up, Jules, love.
I do know about this.
My mum's froze on me. There we go.
But I keep
You'll keep freezing, man.
Have you seen how she's frozen? She looks like a thumbnail. Cruisy.
That's what it possibly image that. If that's not one.
Are you here?
Yeah, the camera's not.
You're here, but your camera is, love. Look how she's frozen. I stay like that, Cruisy.
That's a wanted poster. That's a wanted poster, that.
Here, wanted getaway driver. Are you still with us, Cruisy? Turn your camera off and switch it back on. Big up, Paige.
Hi, Paige. How you feeling, sweetheart?
We might get there when Cruisy gets there. You never know.
She taking the place at night. Mum, come back out and come back in again.
Yeah. Look how she's froze now.
look, I'm sick of doing that.
She landed, she's froze. No, she's all right now. She's back.
Hey. There we go.
Hey, she's back with us. Big up, Cruisy.
No one's noticed yet, though.
I know. Let's see how long.
Right, so before we go any further, we have changed the channel name, the crime channel name.
To Three Women Don't Talk Fuck All.
Before we get to the seriousness, so we now call the true crime trio because my mum, so my mum's now part of it now. Logo has changed, so quick logo change, quick channel name change. She's got to work on the outro again, but apart from that, everything stays the same. Should we go back to colour now? We're going to stick to black and white on this one.
I'm sticking to black and white, me. I look at you don't show me wrinkles, exactly that, Cruzy. I'm happy seeing it black and white, sir.
Right, so before we get into the seriousness and all that, who in the chat is familiar with Richard the Night Stalker, the US version? Because I've now been made aware there's a UK one.
Yeah,
anyone know?
I know of him, Stace, but not a lot about him.
He was a twisted individual.
I mean, in that first photo, he just looks like a student, bit of a hippie.
I think that is a school photo.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that, by the way.
I think it is a school photo. But that's the only decent image you can see of him, really, because the rest of the images you see online are from like the trial.
Quite tall as well, isn't it?
How many did he kill?
He got charged with 13
You
murders.
wouldn't think it though, looking at him, would you?
13 murders, and he got charged with them. Yeah, they did, because he actually was wearing an AC/DC hat during the murders.
Really?
Yeah.
Kevin, I know all about this beast.
Yay, at least someone. Oh, mum's gone. She'll be back shortly.
Big up, Lennon.
Big up, Lennon. I think this is the first time you're in catching it live. You called earlier that you'd watched it on playback. So yeah, we'll give me one more chance to get back in. But yeah, I don't think I've mentioned some of the stuff he did before the murders.
Well, murder's bad enough, innit?
Yeah, but he actually kidnapped and SA'd a little girl.
Okay.
And then dropped her off at a garage.
What, before he went on a killing spree?
Mm-hmm. And
is he still alive?
She is, yeah. Oh, Richard. No, he's dead. No, he's dead. He died. I think 2009, I think. Well, something like that.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, if you watch the Netflix, she's back. If you watch the Netflix documentary about him, the little girl, she was 6 at the time, is actually interviewed and is part of the documentary series. He was not actually done for her assault. They decided, the two detectives that was running the investigation decided that they weren't going to put her through going to do this trial and be witness to relive what she went through. She does tell the documentary series what he put her through. She just say that. But there's a part where when they do actually arrest him, she actually does identify him at 6 years old. And she turns to the officers and go, do I say the number 2 or write down number 2, which is what he wore in the identity lineup. It took the officers a couple of minutes and they all broke and decided not to go any further with the charges against her to save her from going through that ordeal in court.
Okay.
Because one of the original investigators on this one did another serial killer. I think if I'm not mistaken, the Green Bay Killer, I think it was, or the Hillside Strangler, I think it was actually. So one of the lead detectives on this was already dealt with a major serial killer rapist case before dealing with Richard. So
Okay, no.
So he was a twisted individual.
Yeah, but looking at him, you wouldn't think it, would you?
No.
It's a bit like Prince.
Do I insult Prince?
I like Prince.
I like Prince.
Insult Prince.
I like Prince. No, I do like Prince. I've got a
So
soft
do
spot
I,
for
but I just compare him what he looked like.
He has got a similar, yeah. He's not had an easy upbringing.
No, my mum said he had a bit of a shitty start.
Oh, does Miss Biddy know about him then?
Yeah, my mum does, yeah.
Right, shall we continue? Are you okay to continue, Mrs.?
Yeah?
Talk about the older Mrs. in the one.
Fuck off, you cheeky bitch! Because I get called sister, you don't like it.
Yeah, that is true. We've got to call my sister a few times, didn't you?
Fucking hell, what are the blind with a fucking stick, yeah, Cruzy?
I don't know if I should be insulted or what.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it was one of my grandma's carers as well. She thought we were sisters. I don't know if I should be insulted or what. She went, no,
I
you're
told
better.
you she was blind with a walking stick. She uses braille. Is that you? Is that you?
Tell me about it.
Come on, let's go.
Right, okay, right. So, got the cylinder out of the way. 1 second.
Yeah,
Let me
go.
switch it off.
Listen, we're going to never be polished on this channel. Have you seen clientele that we have on here with us? No, it's not going to happen. It'll
Yes, I know what you're talking about there, anyways. Right, so let's get back with them. So, we are all evil in some form or another, are we not? Richard Ramirez, he actually one of the few twisted quotes that he actually had. So I want to apologise in advance for the pronunciation of his actual name, because, yeah, me and saying names, not very good. So, who is Richard Ramirez? So, Ricardo Leyva Muñoz Ramirez, that's his name in whatever it is. February 29th, 1960 to June 7th, 2013. So, there you go. More commonly recognized as Richard Ramirez, was an American serial killer, sex offender, and burglar whose series of murders transpired in the Greater Los Angeles area and the San Francisco Bay Area within California between April 1984 and August 1985. Ramirez took lives of at least 15 individuals during a number of break-ins, which his offences typically occurring after nightfall, which earned him the monikers the Night Stalker, the Walking Killer, and the Valley Intruder. He was found guilty and sentenced to death in 1989, ultimately passing away while on death row in 2013.
Did they do any films about him, Steve?
Yes, they did.
I think I've seen film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've seen film.
I think it was a miniseries. I think they had a TV series. I don't know if it was like a full-on film, but I know they did some kind of TV film about him.
Yeah, well, he got away with it, really, didn't he? He never got death penalty, didn't he?
Yeah.
He died. Look.
Yeah, you will find in America though when they put someone on death row.
When did he get sentenced?
They don't fucking get death.
89.
Well, this is what I'm going to say, Cruzy. Funny enough, I thought death penalty meant you got death.
They take it at the time though. They do in America. They do it at the time when it comes to
the time.
They really do it at the time.
We're talking 20-odd fucking years.
It depends though, because sometimes serial killers were out put on death
row. Gone straight to grave as soon as the sentenced him, innit, Cruzy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Right, this I'm about to explain. Appeals will extend it. Appeals will extend his death sentence.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, if they're giving you death,
extends it.
Well, what's probably giving you death penalty then?
It should be done. It should be left.
Welcome to American justice system.
Yeah, but the whole point of you getting death penalty, Stacey, is you go to death.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point of giving you death penalty then, so that you can appeal it, so you never die on biolethal injection anyway?
Exactly.
It's taking the piss. That fucker got an easy ride of it.
He did. Well, you'll find out. He actually ended up getting married or engaged.
Somebody married him after all that.
Oh.
Were they wired up to grid?
No.
What the fuck? What?
Nope. So,
Ricardo
Ramirez was born in El Paso, Texas on February 29th, 1960 to Mexican immigrants Mercedes Muñoz and Julian Tapia Ramirez, being the youngest of their 5 offspring. His father, who worked as a railway labourer, struggled with alcoholism and exhibited violent behaviour, often leading to physical abuse within the family. Raised in a Catholic faith, Ramirez began using marijuana and consuming alcohol at the tender age of 10. Psychiatrist Michael Stone characterizes Ramirez as a made psychopath rather than a born one. He asserts that Ramirez's schizoid personality disorder played a significant role in his lack of empathy for his victims and his resistance to treatment. Stone noted that Ramirez experienced multiple incidents of being knocked unconscious and nearly dying before reaching the age of 6, which subsequently led to the development of temporal lobe epilepsy, increased aggression, and hypersexuality.
Okay, now.
Yeah,
That's
he had a really rough upbringing.
I mean,
At the age of 12, Ramirez came under the influence of his older cousin, Miguel Mike Valles, who served as a soldier in the US Army and became a serial killer and rapist during his deployment in the Vietnam War. Valles frequently bragged about his horrific war crimes he committed in Vietnam and shared Polaroid photographs with Ramirez that depicted Vietnamese women who he had sexually assaulted, murdered, and either dismembered or decapitated. It is reported that many of these images showed women bound to trees or wooden posts both prior to and following their sexual assault and murders by Valles. While incarcerated, Ramirez later expressed that he was intrigued, rather than disgusted, by the images and narratives that Valles recounted to him. Valles imparted some of his military expertise to Ramirez, including stealth techniques and methods of killing. During this period, Ramirez began to seek refuge from his father's violent outbursts by spending nights in a local cemetery. His father would often punish him by tying him to a crucifix in the cemetery overnight.
Oh, what an evil bastard.
Right?
Who shares them kind of photos with kids?
I've been tagged to washing line post, but never a crucifix.
Yeah, his father
Did it,
was
although didn't they? A lot of them did it back in Vietnam. They did it a lot. A lot.
Becca's belief, and it no wonder it turned out like he did.
Yeah. A lot of people have said that.
Well, no wonder in some respects, isn't it, what he's had to have growing up as a kid?
Yeah, as a kid, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shortly after turning 14 in 1974, Ramirez began frequently using LSD. He and Valles rekindled their connection through their mutual consumption of drugs and alcohol. It was during this time that Ramirez developed an interest in Satanism and the occult. As he entered adolescence, he started to combine his emerging sexual fantasies with graphic violence, which included forced bondage, murder, mutilation, and sexual assault. In his teenage years, Ramirez often hunted coyotes, rabbits, birds using his father's .22 rifle in the El Paso desert at night. He would frequently disembowel them afterwards and feed their entrails to the family dog. While still attending school, he secured a job at a local Holiday Inn where he exploited his master key to steal from guests who were asleep. On at least one occasion, Ramirez harmed 2 children in an elevator at the hotel. Yet he was never reported or prosecuted for this incident. His employment was abruptly terminated after he attempted to sexual assault a woman in her hotel room and caught in the act by the victim's husband. Although the husband assaulted Ramirez at the scene, criminal charges were ultimately dropped when the couple, residing out of state, chose not to return to Texas to testify against him.
Fancy doing that when husband's in bed next to her. God, he should have been section men. Who in the right mind does that? Come on.
Because he didn't want to.
Yeah, so he's got away with it again.
I know,
Not only
Stacey,
has he,
you're telling me the authorities could have took that into their hands.
they would have done.
Oh,
But because
robbing out of hotels, fair enough.
oh, she's gone. And because they from what I remember in the autopsy, in the actual Netflix series, they were scared to travel back to the state to testify against him. That's why they didn't want to.
No, but that's a bit brutal, Stacey, that really.
Yeah, they didn't want to come back.
When they're in a hotel room laying next to their husband in bed. That's not normal behaviour. How old would he then?
So there was so I'd say 18, 19. Depends on what they class adolescents over in America. So I'm saying about 18, 19. Maybe early 20s.
That's a bit. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's not normal behaviour from an adolescent. I don't care. I can't lie.
Hang on a minute, she's back again. At the age of 15, on May 4th, 1975, Ramirez witnessed Valley's fatally shooting his second wife, Jessie, in the face with a handgun during a domestic dispute. So obviously, there's a domestic violence in all parts of his life, his father and his uncle. So he's experienced it from both ends, really. Similar to the graphic images and accounts of his cousin's war crimes in Vietnam, Ramirez later stated that observing the murder was not traumatic for him in any conventional manner, but rather a source of intrigue. Following the incident, Ramirez became withdrawn and sullen, distancing himself from both family and friends, and increasingly engaging in burglaries and substance abuse. Vallis was acquitted of Jessie's murder on the grounds of insanity, with the shooting being attributed to post-traumatic stress disorder stemming from his military service. Ramirez left Jefferson High School in the 9th grade just before the conclusion of the school year in 1977. Former teachers and classmates from Jefferson High later described Ramirez as essentially a troublemaker, known for his frequent absences, and noted that he was subjected to bullying by other students.
Can I look at his uncle, though?
I know. So no matter where he was going, he was never escaping the violence.
I mean, look at that witness. A shot in the face. Not even shot in belly or all like that. Like, shot straight in the face. Come on.
And yeah, insanity play, he got away with it.
Yeah, I can understand him going back to post-traumatic stress, but it didn't look like he was stressed to me when he was showing all them photos to that young one.
Exactly.
Come on.
And I think at that point, they wouldn't have even spoke to Richard.
Let's face it, he didn't really stand a chance, did he, with what he's grown up with?
No, he did not stand a chance. He had no chance. That's why they said he was made one, not born a psychopath. What he was experiencing.
You always know right from wrong, Stacey, and all.
Exactly. Excuse me. I do apologise. I agree. We all know right from wrong. It can be attributed towards his behaviour, but not excuse him completely of his behaviour.
It's no choice, Stacey, which path to take in life. Well, it is true, isn't it?
Right, let's give her a few minutes, and then we'll let her back in.
But everybody does a choice, right?
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. Listen, if anything, that should have made him not want that kind of life.
Exactly. Right, shortly after the incident, Ramirez relocated to live with his elder sister Ruth and her spouse Roberto, who was an abusive voyeur. Roberto often took Ramirez along on his late-night escapades. Following Val's discharge from the mental health facility in 1977, he occasionally joined Ramirez and Roberto on their voyeuristic outings, observing women in the surrounding neighborhoods through their windows. See, there we go again with the peeping Tom now. In 1982, at the age of 22, he moved to California, where he established a permanent residence. It was during this period that Ramirez started using cocaine, which rapidly became his preferred substance, and he began engaging in theft and burglary to fund his addiction. During this time, prior to his imprisonment, he lived a transient lifestyle between San Francisco and Los Angeles County.
Good, he hadn't experienced before the age of 22, let's be honest.
No. Right, I'm going to warn you, his first victim is a 9-year-old girl, so I'm letting you watch. I'm just warning you now. I know.
Were they all kids that he killed?
No.
So he
had
didn't have
no
a
specific target. MO was all over the place. They were all different ages, races. He just did not give a damn who he targeted. That's what made him so dangerous. That's why he would able to get away with it for so long, because there was just no standout modus operandi. Only thing that connected him to the murders that he was convicted of was his shoe print.
Okay.
That was the real clue they had to start off with. So, like I said, I warned you. This is on April 10th, 1984. Ramirez took the life of Wei-Ling, a 9-year-old girl, in the basement of her apartment complex located in the Tenderloin district of San Francisco. At the time, Wang was accompanied by her 8-year-old brother, searching for a lost $1 bill when Ramirez approached her, instructing her to follow him to the basement to locate it. Once inside the basement, Ramirez assaulted, strangled, and sexually assaulted Lang before fatally stabbing her with a switchblade, subsequently hanging her partially nude body from a pipe by her blouse. The murder remained unconnected to Ramirez until 2009, when his DNA matched to a sample collected from the crime scene. In 2016, authorities revealed evidence of a second suspect, identified through additional DNA sampling obtained from the scene, which is believed to have been present during Lang's murder. The authorities have not publicly named this suspect, who was described as a juvenile at the time, and no charges have been filed due to insufficient evidence.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's evil, Stace.
That's why I warned before I actually brought that page up. Because I
That's
know
what
you don't know this
Yeah,
case.
get that again.
I know you don't know this case, yes, that's why I warned you.
I know of it, Stace, but like that's just
Yes.
there's killing somebody, Stacey, and then there's
Overkill.
doing that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know we have British serial killers over here, right? But I will say one thing: in America, they are twofold. They're totally different.
Yeah, they are.
Too.
Yeah, they are.
There's also some of there, the sadists.
Yeah.
They're evil. They're not. No, that's evil. Oh no, that's awful. No,
I'm gonna move off because it does
listen, yeah, that guy should have got death sentence after that. I made sure they were fucking gone. Never mind all else. Fucking
2
hell.
months following the murder of Lang, Ramirez commenced a series of violent home invasions that incited a moral panic in Los Angeles and subsequently in San Francisco. He initiated his activities with a solitary attack in June of 1984, before resurfacing in March 1985 and persisting with his spree throughout the summer, culminating in one of the most extensive police manhunts in California history. Prior to his identification, the perpetrator was referred to as the Night Stalker, previously an unrelated serial killer who operated the same vicinity from 1979 to 1981, had been assigned the Night Stalker moniker, but Ramirez's offences rapidly eclipsed those of his predecessor. Consequently, the earlier killer was rebranded as the original Night Stalker, who was later identified as Joseph James D'Angelo. So there was a secondary one in America. I know there's one in the UK. Now I know there's one in the UK. On June 28, 1984, 79-year-old Ginny Vincow was discovered murdered in her apartment located in Glassell Park, Los Angeles. She had suffered multiple stab wounds to her head, neck, and chest while she was asleep in her bed, and her throat was cut so deeply that it nearly resulted in decapitation. A fingerprint belonging to Ramirez was identified on a mesh screen that he had removed to enter through an open window. This incident, being his second confirmed murder, solidified his pattern of engaging in particularly brutal killings and often burglarizing the residence of his victims either prior to or following the act of murder, primarily to fund his drug addiction and to cover his rent.
I mean, I'm not being funny about Stace. How bad was that gash on her neck?
It was horrendous. I think I've seen a photo. I've got no crime scene photos to that degree in this presentation.
I understand. I don't understand just killing somebody, but to go to the brutal nature he has, it's evil. It's not even evil, man. It's
beyond
just,
evil. Beyond.
I mean, look, I'm not saying what I haven't seen growing up as a kid, but that it's just it's pure hatred. It's awful.
You see by pattern though, Jess, he's not going for like.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Like some serial killers have certain ones to go for, like prostitutes and that. No, I get that, but that's why it's so scary because he don't have a fucking thing.
9 months later, on March 17, 1985, Ramirez assaulted 22-year-old Maria Hernandez, outside her residence in Rosemead, shooting her in the face with a .22 caliber handgun after she had entered her garage. She managed to survive when the bullet deflected off the keys she was holding in her hands as she raised them for protection. Hernandez feigned death until Ramirez departed from the location inside the dwelling. Her roommate, 34-year-old Dale Yoshi Akazaki, heard the gunfire and concealed herself behind the counter upon witnessing Ramirez entering the kitchen. When she lifted her head to ascertain what had transpired, Ramirez, who was anticipating Akazaki's peek over the counter, shot her once in the forehead, resulting in her immediate death. An hour following the Rosemary incident, Ramirez forcibly removed 30-year-old Tsai Leanne, commonly known as Veronica Yu, from her vehicle in Monterey Park, shot her twice with a 22 caliber handgun, and then fled the scene. She was declared dead upon arrival at the hospital. 2 homicides, along with the third attempted occurring within a single day, garnered significant media attention, leading reporters to label the assailant, categorized as having curly hair, bulging eyes, and widely spaced, decaying teeth, as the walking killer and the Valley Intruder. Now,
it's changed the one there because he's gone with a gun this time.
Yeah, it changed constantly. See, I know from the documentary series I've watched, Marie actually gave evidence at the trial. So she was one of the main witnesses that they had at the trial.
Yeah, but you used to sit in his chair at his trial and turn around and look at people, didn't you?
I could not find any of the pictures that he was sent while he was in prison. The ladies that we'll go, when we get to his prison sentence time, I'll discuss that because I've watched the documentary a few times, so I know this one quite well in and out.
See, I do know of it and I do remember it, but they fucking think it's gone on and off. It's done me head in, so I'll put the laptop on just in case. So tomorrow, bitch, get your ass around it, get this fucking machine sorted out.
Will do. 1 week later, around 2 a.m. on March 27th, 1985, Ramirez broke into a residence he had previously burglarized a year prior. Located just outside Whittier, he fatally shot 64-year-old Vincent Charles Zazara in his sleep, targeting his head. The gunshot roused Zazara's wife, 44-year-old Maxine Lavinia Zazara, from her slumber. In response, Ramirez assaulted her and restrained her hands while demanding the location of her valuables. During the chaos, Maxine managed to free herself and retrieve a shotgun from behind the bed. Unaware that it was unloaded, she pulled the trigger. Just after he turned to face her, Ramirez, enraged, shot her 3 times with his handgun, resulting in her death. He then proceeded to the kitchen, where he obtained a large carving knife. He desecrated her body by carving an inverted cross into her chest, subsequently removing her eyes and placing them in a jewelry box. Although he attempted to engage in sexual acts with her corpse, he was so disturbed by her earlier attempt to shoot him that he could not maintain an erection. He kept the jewelry box containing her eyes as a macabre souvenir in his apartment until his eventual arrest. Additionally, Ramirez left behind a footprint from a pair of Avios sneakers in the flower beds, which the police documented and cast. Bullets recovered from the crime scene were linked to those from earlier attacks, leading law enforcement to conclude that the serial killer was on the loose.
No shit, Sherlock.
Keep eyes as mementos. Oh, that's gruesome.
I told you this. I said he was brutal.
Well, your eyes what though?
Yes.
Oh, no. That's taking it to an old. Eyes out.
Yep. So not normal.
There's no normal guy.
I do apologise if you're eating.
I am actually, to be fair.
Sorry, Jess.
Don't worry, it's not to put me on.
That's okay then.
I don't think I can have a look at a set of eyes in the same way again.
On May 14th, 1985, Ramirez made his way back to Monterey Park and infiltrated the residence of 66-year-old Bill Doy and his disabled spouse, 56-year-old Lillian Doy. Catching Doy off guard in his bedroom, Ramirez shot him in the face with a .22 semi-automatic pistol as Doy attempted to reach his own firearm. After rendering Bill unconscious through physical assault, Ramirez proceeded to Lillian's bedroom, where he restrained her with thumb cuffs, subsequently assaulting her sexually after looting the home for valuables. Bill succumbed to his injuries while receiving treatment in the hospital.
I mean, they're not even young, are they? Either they're not like it's gone for young either. They're all oldies.
Yeah, but he does go for some younger ones.
Yeah, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. He don't just go for. He does. His crimes aren't just of a certain age. They're all different ages.
There's no more operandi, is there?
It's modus operandi.
Yes, right. That all stems from what you see with his uncle.
Yes. Yeah. That's what it's come out.
In Vietnam. So he's like reliving Vietnam.
His uncle's macabre attitude of keeping Polaroid, of what he got up to in Vietnam was solidified in his brain. And instead of him getting grossed out by it, it intrigued him, which I believe is why he was perpetrating the crimes the way he was.
You're not wrong, Kevin.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Kevin is not selective of what he's going for.
No. And age is no issue. He's more evil than he thought. I haven't finished yet, Wiz. Just one.
He's not a nice man at all.
2 weeks later, on May 29th, Ramirez drove a stolen vehicle to Monrovia, and arrived at the residence of Mabel Ma Bell, who was 83 years old, along with her disabled sister, 81-year-old Florence, commonly known as Nettie Lang. Upon discovering a hammer in the kitchen, he brutally attacked and restrained Lang in her bedroom. Subsequently, binding and assaulting Bell before employing an electrical cord to... Oh, sorry, I missed a part. He brutally attacked and restrained Lang in her bedroom. Subsequently, binding and assaulting Bell before employing an electrical cord to deliver a shock to her. After sexually assaulting Lang, he utilized Bell's lipstick to inscribe the satanic pentagram symbol on her thighs and the walls of both bedrooms. Now, that image of the pentagram on the bedroom walls has been circulated for the media a lot. It's probably one of the most common pictures you'll probably think if you think of Richard Ramirez. You do think of the satanic symbol that he did actually use. The women were discovered 2 days later, alive, but in a comatose state and suffering critical injuries. Bell succumbed to her injuries in hospital on July 15th, while Lang passed away in the August. Yes, Paige, it gets worse. The following day, Ramirez took the same vehicle to Burbank and stealthily entered the residence of 42-year-old Carol Kyle. Under a threat of firearm, he restrained both Kyle and her 11-year-old son with handcuffs before searching the house for valuables. He then released Kyle to guide him to the family's possession, subsequently assaulting her multiple times. Throughout the ordeal, Ramirez constantly instructed her not to look at him, even threatening at one point to cut her eyes out. He departed the location after retrieving the child from the closet and rebinding them both together with handcuffs. So, yeah.
What the fucking eyes, that guy?
Well, they do say the eyes are the window to the soul, don't they?
Do they?
Yes.
He had no soul. On 14th of December, Sutcliffe... Oh, no, ignore that one. That's not supposed to be there. 3 nights later...
folks.
Sorry. I must have skipped a page. On the evening of July 2nd, 1985, Ramirez piloted a stolen vehicle to Acadia, where he abruptly chose the residence of 75-year-old Marie Louise Canham, a grandmother who had just lost her husband. Upon silently infiltrating Cannon's dwelling, he discovered her resting in her bedroom. He struck her into a state of unconsciousness with a lamp and subsequently murdered her with a 10-inch butcher knife taken from her kitchen. After Cannon was deceased, Ramirez continued to stab her body multiple times.
Just psychotic, and he's just
continued the absolute terror. So next one is...
It's just no words, is it? How do you...
No. You can't, can you?
No. No.
Not 100% I should apologize. 3 nights later, Ramirez unlawfully entered a residence in Sierra Madre and assaulted 16-year-old Whitney Bennett with a tire iron while she was asleep in her bedroom. Excuse me. After fruitlessly searching for a knife in the kitchen, Ramirez attempted to strangle the girl using a telephone cord. He reported being taken aback by the electrical sparks that appeared from the cord, and when his victim began to breathe, he fled the premises, convinced that Jesus Christ had intervened to her rescue. Bennett survived the assault, although it necessitated 478 stitches to repair the lacerations on her scalp.
Wow. That's a lot.
Just
Fucking
you could have rather died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
It's not just
Cleo.
got to live with the fact that this happened to you and you're having to walk around with 478 fucking stitches.
Yep.
You're like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have been dead.
On
Yeah.
July 7th, Ramirez committed a burglary at residence of 60-year-old Joyce Lucille Nelson in Monterey Park. Upon discovering her asleep on her living room couch, he brutally beat her to death by repeatedly stomping on her face.
I don't understand it.
An imprint of an aviary sneaker was left on her face.
Okay.
After surveying 2 additional neighborhoods, he returned to Monterey Park and targeted the home of 63-year-old Sophie Dickman. Ramirez assaulted Dickman, handcuffed her at gunpoint, attempted to sexually assault her, and stole her jewelry. When she insisted that he had taken all her valuables, he instructed her to swear to Satan.
He's a fuck up.
It's fucking wired up. Wow.
Yeah.
Definitely wired up wrong.
See,
You got to think this is all within a few months.
Yeah, defenseless old people as well. Yeah, some of them are old, but most of them are frail.
Yeah.
You know, I
Still
don't.
going. 2 weeks later, on July 20th, Ramirez acquired a machete prior to driving a stolen Toyota to Glendale. He selected the residence of 66-year-old Leila Nilding and her spouse, 68-year-old Maxon Nilding. He forcibly entered the bedroom of the sleeping couple and attacked them with a machete, subsequently executing them with a gunshot to the head from a .22 caliber handgun. He further disfigured their remains with the machete before looting the house for valuables. After swiftly stealing the stolen goods, Ramirez proceeded to Sun Valley, Los Angeles, where he broke into the home of the Kavanaugh family. He shot the sleeping 32-year-old Chenrong, Kavanaugh in the head with a .22 caliber handgun, killing him instantly, and then brutally sexually assaulted and assaulted 32-year-old Sumkid Kavanaugh. He restrained the couple's 8-year-old son for dragging Sumkid throughout the house to disclose the whereabouts of any valuable possessions, which he subsequently stole. During his attack, he insisted that she swear to Satan that she was not concealing any money from him.
You know. Little treasure, isn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah. On the 6th of August, 1985, Ramirez travelled to Northridge and unlawfully entered the residence of 30-year-old Chris Peterson and his 27-year-old wife, Virginia Peterson. He stealthily approached the bedroom, startled Virginia, and shot her in the face with a .25 caliber semi-automatic handgun. He then shot Chris in the neck and attempted to escape. However, Chris fought back, narrowly avoiding 2 additional shots during the altercation before Ramirez was able to flee. Fortunately, the couples survived their injuries.
Lucky bastards.
Very lucky.
Yeah, it's on this drug habit, Kevin. And it's still going. 2 nights later, Ramirez drove a stolen vehicle to a diamond bar, selected the home of 27-year-old Sakina Abawath and a 35-year-old husband, Elias Abawath, after 2:30 a.m. He entered the residence and proceeded to the master bedroom. He immediately killed the sleeping Elias with a shot from to the head from a 25 caliber handgun. He then handcuffed and assaulted Sakina, forcing her to disclose the locations of the family's jewellery, and subsequently assaulting her. He repeatedly insisted that she swear to Satan that she would remain silent during his attacks. When the couple's 3-year-old son entered the bedroom, Ramirez bound the child and continued to assault Sakina. After his departure, Sakina managed to free her son and sent him to the neighbours for assistance. Following the extensive media coverage of his crimes, Ramirez left Los Angeles and made his way to San Francisco.
What an evil bastard.
Yeah.
I so wish that was the end, but it's not.
Age didn't matter, did it? Didn't care how old young you were or how old they were. He just didn't give a fuck. It's definitely a crime scene.
Makes you what business doing though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of jurisdictional issues because nothing was getting shared.
Yeah, they did. Well, they didn't back then because they didn't have the communications like they have now.
A bit further on, there's a picture of 2 of the gentlemen that was actually in charge of the case. And when he moved from, I think when he moved on to San Francisco, Los Angeles, because like I said, there was no communication between law enforcement. One of them, it wasn't the main 2 detectives, it was the investigation from the other section. They released his photo to the press against the wishes of the main lead detectives. So this is what I mean by there was no
over the years span. Can you imagine if they didn't catch him, how many more did have done?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's still going.
Yeah, it wouldn't have stopped.
See, some things I don't think I put in this book because I've watched the documentary a few times. I can fill in some gaps.
He's not a nice man, put it like that.
No,
he's not.
On August 18th, he entered the residence of 66-year-old Peter Pan and 62-year-old Barbara Pan. I thought that when I first read it. He fatally shot the sleeping Peter in the temple with a 25 caliber handgun, resulting in his immediate death. He then proceeded to beat and sexually assault Barbara before shooting her in the head, and leaving her for dead. However, she ultimately survived the injuries. At the crime scene, Ramirez utilized lipstick to inscribe a pentagram and the phrase, "Jack the knife" on the bedroom wall, which is also another image you can see. Additionally, he left a shoe print at the scene, which detectives later discovered and matched the specific pair of aviary shoes that were not widely available at the time.
I mean,
so more or less every crime scene they found that particular shoe.
Let's face it, right? He wasn't a small guy either. He was quite tall, so he had
I think he
quite
was 6
feet.
foot something. He was a tall lad, but he
And
was
his feet
skinny,
being small.
and he looked scary.
Well, let's face it. You'd shoot yourself, wouldn't you, if you were in house on your own and that fucker turned up?
Yeah.
You know.
I got with the fight though.
It's them eyes. He's got evil eyes. He has.
His eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's his eyes. The dark.
Black eyes.
In August
People have them kind of eyes. They've got no soul.
Not at all. August 25th, 1985, Ramirez drove 67 miles, 122 kilometers south of Los Angeles in a stolen orange Toyota. Arriving in Mission Viejo that evening, he reached the residence of 45-year-old James Romero Jr., who had just come back from a family vacation in the Rosarito Beach, Mexico. At the time, Ramirez's 13-year-old son, James Romero III, was still awake. While the rest of his family slept, James stepped outside to fetch a pillow from a locked truck. While outside, he heard rustling sound. Assuming it was merely an animal, he went to investigate but saw nothing unusual. He then entered his garage to work on his mini bike, only to hear Ramirez's footsteps outside the house. Believing there was an intruder, James observed Ramirez through his bedroom window and decided to wake his parents, prompting Ramirez to flee the scene. James hurried outside and took a note of the car's colour, make and model, along with the partial license plate number. Romero then contacted the police with his information, convinced that James had just scared off a burglar. So he just basically saved his parents and possibly his life. So he spooked him because he wasn't expecting anyone to be awake.
Well, there were, luckily.
After aborting his assault on the Romero residence, Ramirez unlawfully entered the home of 30-year-old Bill Carnes and his fiancée, 29-year-old Inez Erickson, through the rear entrance. He proceeded to the couple's bedroom, where he roused Carnes by cocking his .25 Magnum caliber handgun. Subsequently, he shot Carnes 3 times in the head before shifting his focus to Erickson. Identifying himself as the Night Stalker, because at this point he'd seen the news where he was, Ramirez compelled her to profess her love for Satan while he physically assaulted her and restrained her with neckties taken from the closet. Following the theft of available valuables, he transported Erickson to another room where he sexually assaulted her. He insisted on cash and jewelry, demanding that she swear on Satan again. There was no additional items. Prior to his departure, he instructed Erickson to inform others that the Night Stalker was here. After managing to free herself, Erickson sought assistance from a neighbour. Surgeons successfully extracted 2 of the 3 bullets lodged in Kern's head, allowing him to survive the ordeal.
Wow.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
But I think at that point, Ramirez thought he was dead.
Not surprised.
It is all like anybody's fair game for him, aren't they? That's what's worrying.
So on the
And
evening,
if they wouldn't have caught him, it'd have gone on for
a lot longer. Yeah, a lot longer.
That's scary.
On the evening of June 27th, 1985, 32-year-old Patty Elaine Higgins was tragically murdered in her residence located in Arcadia. The discovery of the crime did not occur until July 2nd, when she failed to report to her workplace. The perpetrator had committed acts of sodomy, strangulation, and had inflicted a fatal wound to her throat. Ramirez was subsequently charged with both murders and burglary in connection with Higgins' demise. Nevertheless, the charges were ultimately dismissed due to insufficient physical evidence that could definitively link Higgins to other homicides. According to a statement made by Ramirez to an investigator, he's also considered a suspect in the double homicide of 58-year-old Christina Caldwell and 70-year-old Mary Caldwell, which took place in San Francisco. The sisters were discovered brutally stabbed to death in their apartment on Telegraph Hill on February 20th, 1985. While serving time in prison, Ramirez reportedly boasted to a prison officer and fellow inmates about having taken the lives of more than 20 individuals. So they
Well,
could
that's
only...
what to brag about, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just the fact that they weren't just. They're all
So,
they were young.
Here we go now. So a footprint was found at multiple crime scenes. So these lead detectives, Frank Salerno, he's the one of the, I think it was the Green Bay, it was one of the major killings just before Ramirez went on his spree. Salerno was made famous because of it. And Gil Cargallo reached out to a shoe manufacturer and successfully obtained the soles upon identifying the brand and distribution throughout the United States. It was found that only 6 pairs were available in a men's 11.5.
See, we got
5 of these pairs were sent to various locations in Arizona, while 1 was delivered to a shoe store in Los Angeles. This indicated that a sole pair of that size and type in California belonged to the suspect. When it was revealed that the ballistics and shoe print evidence from the crime scenes in Los Angeles corresponded with that from the crime scene, San Francisco Mayor Dianne Feinstein disclosed this information. This is what I was saying about how they disclosed it. Including the caliber of the firearm. During a televised press conference, this revelation angered the detectives as they were aware that the murderer would be monitoring the news coverage, which would provide him the chance to eliminate vital forensic evidence. Ramirez, who had indeed been following the news, discarded his sneakers over the edge of the Golden Gate Bridge that very night. He lingered in the vicinity for a few additional days before returning to the Los Angeles area. This is what I mean with there was just no cooperation between. See, these were the 2 detectives that was doing all this hard work to investigate, gathered all the information, and then the mayor just freaking just went on San Francisco mayor went on TV and just blurted it all out. Literally could have compromised, which she technically she did because, like you said, they threw the shoes away.
Yep.
Well, throwing bloody shoes away.
Now, in the Netflix documentary, they spoke to one of the detectives, and he was arrogant SOB. He was like, there was nowhere they were going to take, basically saying they weren't going to take no. These two detectives that done the fucking hard work could take no credit for their arrest. I'm like, are you serious? Because of your bloody mayor blabbering the mouth, a vital piece of evidence was thrown because you would not listen about keeping it shut. And he returned to Los Angeles because of it.
Okay.
It's probably the first. It's probably the most, isn't it?
Erickson provided investigators with a comprehensive account of her attack, and the police acquired a cast of Ramirez's footprint from the Ramirez residence. The stolen Toyota was abandoned on August 28th in Koreatown, Los Angeles, and despite Ramirez's meticulous attempts to erase his prints from the vehicle, police managed to recover a single fingerprint from the rearview mirror.
Do you know, guaranteed 9 out of 10 times, they always find it on the back of the mirror. And I've said that on many crime programs we watch. They never clean the back of the mirror. Never. I do.
The print was definitively matched to Ramirez, who was characterized by law enforcement as a 25-year-old drifter from Texas, possessing an extensive criminal record that included numerous arrests for traffic offences and illegal drug activities. The identification of Ramirez's fingerprint was referred to as a near miracle, given that the identification system used was newly implemented and only contained fingerprints of criminals born after January 1st, 1960, which was just 2 months prior to Ramirez's birth. On August 29th, 1985, law enforcement authorities made the decision to release the mugshot of Ramirez from 1984 auto theft arrest to the media. During the police press conference, it was stated, "We know who you are now, and soon everyone else will. There will be no place you can hide."
See, back then, though, they didn't have what they
this
got
part
now.
I like. This part I absolutely like. This part I like. On August 30th, 1985, Ramirez boarded a bus into Tucson, Arizona, intended to visit his brother, completely unaware that he had become a primary news story in nearly every significant newspaper and television news program throughout California. After failing to locate his brother, who was not at home, he returned to Los Angeles in the early hours of August 31st. He walked past police officers who were monitoring the bus terminal, open to apprehend the killer if he attempted to escape on an outbound bus, and entered a convenience store in East Los Angeles. Upon noticing a group of elderly Hispanic women who were fearfully identifying him as El Matador, Ramirez saw his own image on the front page of the newspaper La Opinion, which featured a headline labeling him as Invasor Nocturno, English Night Invader. In a state of panic, he fled the store. After sprinting across Santa Ana Freeway, he tried to carjack an unlocked Ford Mustang, who was forcibly moved by irate residents. Faustina Pinon and Jose Burgon. Ramirez then dashed across the street and attempted to seize car keys from Angela De La Torre, her husband, Manuel De La Torre. Witnesses attempt and struck Ramirez on the head with a fence post during the chase. A group of more than 10 residents, including the sons of Jose Burgon, formed a mob and pursued Ramirez down the Hubbard Street in Boyle Heights. They managed to restrain him and delivered a beating. Around 8 a.m., the police were summoned to the area due to a disturbance. Although few details were provided, the police arrived at Hubbard Street and took a severe beating. Ramirez into custody. That is citizen justice there. So he was spotted, chased him down, and bit the fuck out of him.
No, still
That's
alive.
called citizen's arrest, all right.
Oh yeah, there's actual footage of them all, because obviously they had helicopters at this point. When they realised where he was captured, you just see them mobbing the street, celebrating that they've caught the Night Stalker. So obviously,
you can understand why, can't you? Really?
Yeah. It was probably just at the pop of beating.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy. You see pictures
Yeah,
of him in the car. Yeah. Or you can see how they got him, because you can see how. Oh, I was laughing at me when I found out he got beat by a fucking public. Absolutely howling off. I thought it was absolutely.
Justice.
Thing is, he got away with so much in such a short
Right. So Ramirez was escorted from the courtroom by the sheriff. The jury selection process for Ramirez's trial commenced on July 22nd, 1988. Jury's initial court appearance. So this is another one you'll recognise, maybe, Jess. He raised his hand, adorned with a pentagram, and shouted, "Hail Satan!"
Mm-hmm.
So that was a quite widely used photograph as well. On August 3rd, 1988, Los Angeles Times reported that several jail staff members had overheard Ramirez plotting to shoot the prosecutor firearm, which he planned to have smuggled into the courtroom. As a result, a metal detector was installed at the entrance, and thorough searches were performed on individuals entering the premises. So, during the trial and is escorting from the sheriff to the court, I think it's Gil, the lead detective, was in the vehicle, and he described a woman on top of a vehicle, literally stood there and went like that.
Yeah, there's a picture of that.
And Gil touched around and said to him, "That's for you. That's not for me. That's for you." That. So even before the trial, he was getting some attention from the ladies.
Bless you, my child.
How can you find that attractive?
Fuck knows.
Is there something wrong with me or what?
No, people are fucked in head out there. I mean, you're gonna jump onto a can go like that because some dickhead's doing what he's done, and you think, yeah.
Right. What the heck?
Why are you playing music?
My phone just opened up and it started playing music.
That's not normal behaviour, isn't that?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But the amount of stuff he was getting in the post from ladies. I mean, they were sending them topless pictures. I don't mean just like the boobs, literally full-on pictures of these ladies adorned on beds in sexually provocative positions, in sexy underwear and stuff like that. All this is shown on the Netflix. Obviously, Netflix block out boobs and stuff. But yeah, as Kevin says, there was groupies outside and inside the courtroom, because there was actually televisions in the room. You'll see the room has quite a lot of young, good-looking ladies. I'm not going to say they're ugly, but they were like loads of ladies in the courtroom just to get a look at him.
But why? But
nothing to do with about how, not there to see a killer get sent down. They were there to get a look at someone they required as a fucking someone famous. And even some turned around and said they did not believe he did it. Despite the amount of evidence that was stacked against him, witness statements and stuff, they still didn't believe he didn't do it.
Well, he clearly fucking did.
You're not fucking wired up, right? Facts. Fucking stuffy cunts.
Yep.
Where did they get them from?
Tell me that. On August 14th, the trial was halted due to absence of one of the jurors, Phyllis Singletary, who failed to appear in the courtroom. Later the same day, she was discovered shot to death in her apartment. The jury was filled with fear, speculating whether Ramirez had orchestrated this incident from within his prison cell, and if he posed a threat to other jurors. Nonetheless, it was eventually concluded that Ramirez bore no responsibility for Singletary's demise. She had been shot and killed by her boyfriend, who subsequently took his own life using the same firearm in a hotel. The alternative juror who took Singletary's place was too terrified to return to her residence.
That's weird, isn't it? That.
Yeah, for some reason, my title is that. So, trial and conviction.
Where they covered you up so you couldn't be seen by anybody else.
September 20th, 1989, Ramirez was found guilty on all 43 counts, 13 for murder, 5 for attempted murder, 11 for sexual assault, and 14 for burglary during the sentence phase of his trial on November 7th, 1989. he received the death sentence to be carried out in California's gas chamber. After the sentencing, he remarked to reporters, "Big deal. Death always went with the territory. See you in Disneyland." The trial incurred a cost of 1.8 million. So at the time of 1989, that is 1.5 to 1.11 million UK British pound at the time of 1989, making it the most expensive murder trial in California's history at that time. A record that was later eclipsed by O.J. Simpson's trial in 1994.
Which he got away with as well.
Yeah, didn't it? He would another scruffy cunt screws him and all.
So these are the these are the actual crime scene photos. These are the footprints they found at the scene. This was one of the most common connection was the fingerprints. If I'm not mistaken, there was an officer who him and his wife were sleeping, and their windows were nailed shut, or sealed shut. Since they moved in, they'd not been able to open a specific window. The wife heard someone outside. The husband thought she was just obviously everything that was going on. She was just imagining it. No, so eventually the husband went down and found the window that was never been able to be opened. Gil, I think it was Gil, and his partner Frank went out and found the same exact footprint literally outside the window, because the day before the wife had heavily watered the flower bed. So the police officer and his wife got a lucky escape. So don't know if he intentionally went there to scare them, to say, "I know where you live," or he was scared off. So there's been some, so stuff like that. There was one woman, I think she did like DNA and stuff. Her neighbour was actually close to being one of his victims. Tied her to the bed. She managed to move the bed enough to get to an open window and called out for help. The neighbour heard, went and called for help. And I think the same neighbour was one of the first women to go in to get DNA and stuff off him. Jumped at the chance to get in. So that's all. And these are one of the E-fits.
Yeah, but DNA back then took a long time as well.
Yeah. Not like nowadays, 24 hours, bumper done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like it is now.
So, these are the victims.
But it makes you think, though, doesn't it? Going back to this and then thinking, in that era, they didn't have what they have now. I mean, not every police station spoke to each other like they do now. They're all interlinked out now. So back then it was all done by telephone or by cards or computers just starting there as well. It must have been hard work, and no wonder
it was. And the communication between Los Angeles and California was bad.
Well, yeah, exactly. None of them were willing to help each other out.
Yeah.
Why can't they, like, if it's Lincolnshire police, with West Yorkshire police, or Guardia, which is Wales, or Scotland,
and now,
they all work together.
It's international now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Interpol for a start.
So these are some of his victims here, and obviously these are pictures.
And that looks like Jaws, doesn't it?
Because they said one of the victims commented on his bad teeth. So this image was used to see, just to show that he did have bad teeth. And I think he also did they did an impression of his teeth as well and matched it. Like they did with Ted Bundy. I think Ted Bundy was the first one to actually have his teeth made, impression of his teeth to actually go onto a victim. So that, if I'm not mistaken, they did the same with Richard as well. And then the infamous pentagram photo there, look. So yeah, face for video.
I'm smiling.
And that's Gil, and that's Frank. So Frank's had some high-profile serial killer cases before the Ramirez one, and there's a part in the Netflix series where they were saying that the case previous that Frank had worked on, Richard actually recognised him from that investigation. Obviously, when you first arrest someone and you try to get information out of them, well, especially in America anyway, they try to be pally with you, don't they? They try to get you on your side, so they'll speak more openly, more freely. The case that Richard knew Frank from, they put him in the same cell as the bloke that Frank had just not long investigated. Just to get him to open up a bit more, be a bit pally with him. It worked because he spilled his guts, but so obviously the one with him like that is one of the most famous images of his trial.
Look at him waving with that fucking thing there.
Yeah, he's got pentagram on his hand during the trial.
Do you think his face looks weird though? Like he's just got like a brown shit and everything.
And the previous image of him in the sunglasses is one of the cases where he was looking at the ladies behind him.
Yep, I remember that one.
So, it was messed up. So, as I previously mentioned, this is the woman that he was engaged to.
Fuck me.
So, while awaiting trial, Ramirez allegedly encountered actor Sean Penn. Penn, who spent 33 days in jail in 1987 for reckless driving and assaulting an extra on the set of the film Colours, asserted that he received a letter from Ramirez as a fellow inmate. In response, he wrote back to Ramirez, expressing his lack of sympathy and wishing him for his demise in the gas chamber. By the time the trial commenced, Ramirez had garden fans who were sending him letters and visiting him. So that includes fucking sending naughty pictures. Starting in 1985, Doreen Lloyd penned nearly 75 letters to Ramirez during his time in prison. In 1988, he proposed to Lloyd, and on October 3rd, 1986, they were married. They were wed in California, San Quentin State Prison. For many years prior to Ramirez's death, Lloyd declared that she would take her own life when Ramirez was executed. At the time of his death in 2013, Ramirez was engaged to a 23-year-old writer.
What?
Yeah.
Not once, but twice.
Just be
3 times a lady.
Crazy.
No.
See, I don't understand that fascination about.
Yeah.
Like that. Why the fuck would you?
On August 7th, 2006, Ramirez's initial round of state appeal concluded unsuccessfully as the California Supreme Court affirmed his convictions and death sentence. On December 2006, the California Supreme Court rejected his petition for a rehearing. Ramirez had further appeals pending until his death. Ramirez passed away due to complications related to B-cell lymphoma at Marion General Hospital in Green Bay, California on June 7th, 2013, at the age of 53. He also suffered from chronic substance abuse and a chronic hepatitis C viral infection. His remains were unclaimed, leading to his cremation.
Hang on a minute, but if they had this wife and engaged, why didn't they claim his fucking ashes?
I think she, at the time of his death, she actually divorced him.
Well, why not marry him in fucking first place?
Yeah, what?
Fuck knows.
Why
Definitely some trauma in their early life, I'm assuming. If they're going to go for get married to a serial fucking killer.
But it's not just
right.
Sometimes they are normal stages, that's the thing.
That's what's more worrying, Cruzy.
That is Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and I've spelled his freaking name wrong. What are your thoughts?
This is not fucking fresh.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Bastard.
My thoughts, sick, evil, twisted bastard should have died fucking way before.
Indeed.
That's what I think so. Because in America, if they've got appeals, it extends their death penalty.
What an appeal, you scruffy bastard. You should have gone a long time ago.
Yeah, I think why does he have to appeal something when he's been convicted? It's been proven he's done it. He did it. He knows it. They know it. There should be no appeals. Just fucking knock them dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leaf injection, not electric chair. Ooh, electric chair.
But that toll of the whole investigation took a toll on the police's family as well, because Gil
It does.
He was saying in the documentary, he'd get home, go to sleep for about an hour, and then he's back up again and out the door doing the investigation.
That's
To the
just
point,
it.
he even
The
said his
effect
wife.
is not just gone.
His
I
wife,
bet
I
that's
think his wife
something
took kids.
later on in life, that.
Yeah,
Them
he had
crimes.
wife and two kids that he sent away
Yeah.
because he was so worried. And then when they actually got him arrested, he actually went to, I think it was his niece's wedding. I know he went to a family wedding. And when he walked in, he told his wife that they got him. It was over. And apparently he was like the main attraction of the wedding. The bride didn't even care. You know, and it's stuff like that. That case drained a lot of resources and took a lot of time out of them men's lives.
I bet it did. What an horrible thing to think.
Yeah.
I agree. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
too long. Thing is, if you're sentenced to death, you should be. And thing is, if you are found guilty and they know you've done it, and you know that's it, done, dusted, you've been caught.
Yeah, that was,
put your hands up. Yeah, fuck it, I did it.
Yeah.
And
I
then
agree.
He took pleasure in it, man. He took pleasure.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that. But they left him as raw to carry on and die in that natural place where normal civilians were, and yet he should have been killed a long, long time ago. So he's still living a life of luxury because he was still breathing, and he shouldn't have been. It's as simple as
I
that.
agree. No, I agree.
The date they give the sentence should have been a date set, and it should have been supplied. Never mind doing appeals because he fucking did it. They know he did it. Evidence to prove he did it. Fuck it. I understand why they don't really do it straight away because they want to make sure they've done it right. And we do know there's miscarriage of justice. A lot of it does go on. But if it's proven beyond a reasonable doubt that they actually did it, then should be fucking spending 20 odd year on death row. It should be done, dealt with, got rid of. Sorry, that's my feelings.
So, last year,
Man, a cold-hearted bastard.
Richard Ramirez's niece, has come out and said that he was abusing her at the age of 6.
It's mental. It's
girl.
crazy.
I don't know if it was during or before he started killing.
Yeah, no, but thing is, would you want to say you were related to him? Would you?
No.
Like, fuck.
I agree.
My mum was a psycho bitch. What do you say me the other day? Says you're gonna get a tattoo of me on your arm. I'm a fuck. She doesn't deserve to be a part of my body anyway.
So that's right. So he kidnapped a 6-year-old girl.
Yeah.
She's actually on the Netflix documentary as well. You know, big up to her for taking that.
Brave for them to come out and do that kind of stuff.
So at the time she was 6-year-old Anastasia Ronas in 1985 when he opened the window and kidnapped her. He put her in a duffel bag. She was small enough. He put her in a duffel bag.
See, that's just it.
And only let her out to
the young to the old. There were no in between. Well, he didn't give a fuck how old they were. It didn't matter to him. He didn't give a fuck. But yeah, I never had him done dead straight away. Me for that.
Yeah, I can't lie.
So she was the one that identified him after he was arrested. She was the one that identified him for the kidnapping and the assault. And we will talk about this backstage when I said that. She actually turned around to Gil, I think it was, and said, "Do I say number 2 or do I write down the number 2?" That brave 6-year-old girl made 3 grown men detectives cry because she was so brave, and they just decided there and then they weren't going to put her through a trial. So that's why when he was actually convicted, her kidnap and assault was never added to the charges.
But if you've got Sky, you could talk to your remote and ask your remote to find it.
Yeah. It's called The Night Stalker on Netflix,
Yeah.
Alison Darling. It's really good in depth. That's why I know so much about it, because I've watched it a few times. And when I realised I was doing it again, I rewatched it.
Many.
And the
I
two
watched a load of
detectives,
crime
Frank and
over
Bill,
years.
they're on there. Because Gil is actually a military man himself, and he left the military, joined the police force. And the Night Stalker case was his first ever homicide case because Frank's asked him to be his partner. He went from doing small time things to doing this straight away. He was literally thrown in the deep end, was Gil, when it came to this case.
Mm.
He was still quite young, was Gil. You see pictures of him in videos on the media and stuff. You see Gil there. And you see how Gil walk compared to when you see him in the Netflix TV series. So imagine being a blue collar rookie cop thrown into homicide to that case such as big as that.
Yeah, it's not good.
And it was
a big case, though.
And it was a huge case, especially for your first time.
They used to stand outside prison shouting, "Don't kill him! Don't kill him! Leave him! Leave him!"
Yeah.
State of execution.
It was like I think it was Ted Bundy one. There was literally people outside waiting to find out. And then when he actually
I want to marry him.
When he was killed, when it was officially told it was gone, when people were leaving the execution, if I remember rightly, there was someone going like that to confirm to people on the hill that were outside prison that he was gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get people that will literally protest saying he's innocent. No, he's fucking not, darling. Would you really think
we don't have that
he won't look at you and go, my next victim? Oh, come on now. He had no remorse for any what he did. No remorse whatsoever. You really think you're going to be able to... I want to know what that fucking woman was thinking when she married him. Why would you marry someone like that?
You'll never find out, Stacey.
I think
it's one of those things that
she's spoken about it. Let's have a look. See if she has.
Would you want to speak about it? Be man to fucking.
Yeah, I was going to say it same. Would you want to admit to you married to that fucking freak?
Oh no, it was publicised. A picture and everything.
What have you even married him in the first place, Cruisy Low?
I wouldn't even fucking go near him before.
Yeah, I'm saying. Fucking hell.
I've been running over direction. Fuck, not a chance.
I've been running up that fucking hill and far away, never to be seen again.
I don't understand what makes somebody do that. Why do you want to go and marry a serial murderer, a rapist, the lot? Just, I don't know, not right. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to be associated with that kind of a person, male or female? So it works both ways, not just one way, it works both ways. Fuck, not at all. No. Never.
Apparently, his wife was captivated by his mugshot.
Well, did it captivate me? Did it captivate you?
No.
Did it fuck?
There you go, then. If it didn't thingy yet, and it certainly didn't me.
I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand.
Well, we're wired up right, Crow. Well, we're wired up right. We're not. Seriously.
Yeah. I'd say wired up right. I might be a little bit.
Well, yeah, but we don't find we wouldn't want to go and marry a stadium crew. So we're wired up right.
No, not a fucking chance. Wow. Yeah, just
this is what I'm saying, innit? You know what I mean? Like we're wired up right. They're not.
Yeah. It fascinates me as to why would someone who want to. I've took this off already once before.
So yeah, it was. You've got pictures of her arriving at the prison the day she married him.
Well, you're wrong and facts. Right, peeps, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Bless up to everybody that's joined us. Big up to Stacey because that was interesting for myself because I didn't know bit, but I didn't know to the extent of what he had done, if I'm honest. So big up to Stacey. A lot of hard work. Well done. Good stream, ladies. You know, well, we can be polished sometimes. So next week,
you know what Stacey most of all, Jess?
What, mate?
She actually loved doing that, which is quite scary.
likes the crime. She's a bit of a sadist anyway, we all know
I am
that.
a bit of a sadist, but I like
But
my
if anybody wants to do any homework for next week, I think Cruzy, I know this one, Robert Napper. Wimbledon Common, Cruzy stabbed her to death in front of a 2-year-old.
I know this one.
Yeah.
So this one's going to be educational when I'm reading it.
Yeah. What was it? Nicola. Yeah. Forgot her name.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know it.
Samantha Bissett were her name. But it was Rachel McKell.
Yeah.
Because he'd committed a double murder.
Rachel McKell.
And well, let's just say this is an interesting one because there's a nice honey trap involved in this by the police. So if you want to have a look at him and do some homework for next week, it's Robert Napper. And the week after that, Stacey, it is
The son of Sam, David Barrowitz.
So they're your next two if you want to do a little bit of homework for yourselves. We will be back at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Yes, 12:30 tomorrow afternoon to do the transfer deadline day. That is going to be an all-day stream till 10 o'clock. We're going to incorporate the football into it as well, which is Burnley Sunderland at 7:45. So it'll be just one stream tomorrow, but we are on all day if you want to check us out for that. The latest transfer regarding Liverpool, Leeds, Man United, Tottenham. Let's hope we can get some signings over the line and be an interesting day. Hopefully there's not as much drama on this transfer day as there was on the last one.
Yeah, like your Wendy's not turning up for like 3 hours.
I'm thinking more of Lord Rodney Trotton, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that one, but yeah.
Well, I'm not. But there's your homework for the next 2 weeks, peeps. That'll be back next Sunday, so that'll be a nice one. Back at 12:30 tomorrow if you want to join us for transfer deadline day. If not, just smash a like on it. It all helps. And on that bombshell, thank you for watching as always. And good night from me.
I have nightmares.
What did you say?
Don't have nightmares.
Yeah, don't have nightmares, will you guys? When you go to bed tonight thinking of him, will you? You know what I'm saying? As I say on Crime Watch, don't have nightmares.
Yeah.
We're going to get a goodbye out of Cruzy before she's blown up on us again.
Mother. Nope.
No. And it's a goodbye from Cruzy. Like Stacey says, don't have nightmares. It is educational purposes only. And on that bombshell, good night, God bless. We'll see you at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for the transfer deadline stream. And make sure you're telling people to like and subscribe to the True Crime Trio. Peace out.
Like and share, we shall see next time on True Crime Duo. Make the right choices and please don't have nightmares. Till next time.